Good morning, please be seated. Honored graduates of the class of 2020, parents, family, and friends, members of the faculty and staff, welcome to Washington and Lee University's commencement ceremony. Before we begin, let us pause to remember we are gathered on a day of special significance in the history of our nation and our world. 20 years ago today, terrorist attacks killed 2,977 people at the World Trade Center in New York City and the Pentagon in Virginia, and the crash of United Airlines Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. We honor the lives of all those who died that day, including two of our alumni. Navy Commander Rob Schlegel, class of 1985, was among those killed at the Pentagon, where he worked scheduling Navy ships. James Goodell of the class of 2000 died in the World Trade Center, where he was an assistant trader for Cantor Fitzgerald. Let us join their families, their W&L classmates, and their friends in remembering Rob and James. We also acknowledge and pay tribute to the first responders for their heroism on that terrible occasion. Earlier this morning, we held a special commemoration that many of you attended. I ask that you now stand and observe a moment of silence on this, the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Thank you. You may be seated. We're here to celebrate the law and undergraduate classes of 2020. On this unique occasion, we welcome you back to campus as alumni for your commencement. Today is both a commencement and a reunion. It's a recommencement, and what a pleasure it is, finally, to be with you here in this beautiful setting in this way. Until 1978, it was customary, that's right, that is really good. Until 1978, it was customary at W&L to hold a joint commencement ceremony for law and undergraduate students. But in 1979, the undergraduate calendar was revised to incorporate the newly created spring term. Because of the different calendars, the university began holding separate graduations. It's unfortunate in a way because we are one university. Our structure is unique, but it's intellectually coherent. Legal education is a natural extension of the liberal arts in virtue of the modes of thinking inherent to the discipline. W&L is not just a college that happens to have a law school, but rather a liberal arts university of which the law school is an integral part. Our distinctive structure reflects an abiding spirit of institutional innovation and public service and the courage to be different within higher education. This joint commencement ceremony, the first of its kind in 43 years, is an appropriate reminder that Washington and Lee is a special place, and this is a special occasion. We're here today to celebrate our graduates, but they are here today thanks to many other people. Would the parents of today's graduates please stand? Would the grandparents join them in standing? Spouses, siblings, aunts and uncles, cousins, friends. I ask the graduates to contemplate this ocean of love and support and thank the people who've given so much for the sake of your happiness and success. Commencement is many things. It's a recognition of your notable achievement, having met the rigorous requirements established by our faculty to earn a degree from Washington and Lee. It's a celebration. Under ordinary circumstances, it's a sad goodbye and an exciting launch to new places and possibilities. In this instance, commencement is a chance to reconnect with classmates and professors after the pandemic deprived you of the opportunity to enjoy a fitting close to your time at W&L. Above all, commencement is a glorious day, and I invite us all to ponder and bask in the appreciation of this place we are privileged to be and the occasion that brings us here. To the parents and family members, my children are in college, and I hope in a few short years to be where you are today. And I hope that the places that they have chosen are as nurturing for them as Washington and Lee has been for your sons and daughters. I hope that my children learn and develop and grow and mature as beautifully as yours have done here. I can imagine the depth of your pride. You've already seen them take their first steps beyond college or law school, but hearing their names called as they cross the stage remains a significant milestone in their lives and in yours. I thank you for entrusting us with the most cherished part of your lives and allowing us to get to know these wonderful young people who are a constant source of inspiration to everyone at W&L. To the graduates, I am grateful for our time together. You made a powerful and positive impression. I watched you win ODAC championships and earn Scholar Athlete awards. I saw you perform plays and heard you sing. I bragged about your moot court victories. I lost count of the academic fellowships and honors you won. I hope you'll remain connected to Washington and Lee and return to campus frequently. I will always look forward to seeing you and to hearing how things are going for the members of the great class of 2020. It's now time to thank some people who deserve special recognition. Those of you graduating today owe much of your education to our dedicated faculty and staff. Members of the faculty and staff have guided you, supported you, sometimes been astonished at what you achieved. Please join me in thanking these dedicated individuals. I also want to offer thanks to everyone who works in facilities, dining services, and public safety. Their overtime effort to make this an unforgettable event is the last and most meaningful of the many gifts they've provided you during your time at W&L. Please join me in expressing appreciation for their work. This is also the moment when we recognize the senior who's achieved the highest academic standing and is designated by the faculty as the class valedictorian. The 2020 valedictorian is Matthew O'Neill Withers of Collinsville, Virginia. Matt, will you please rise? There he is. Matt earned his BS in physics, summa cum laude, completing an honors thesis entitled Directed Self-Assembly, a study of the effect of electric fields on silica monolayers, under the advisement of Professor Dan Mazzalou. Matt was a summer research scholar at W&L and participated in the Nuclear Science Summer School at Michigan State and the research experience for undergraduates at Hanford Observatory in Washington State. Matt represented W&L internationally, including at the 8th International Conference on Mathematical Modeling and Physical Sciences held in Bratislava, Slovakia. While still an undergraduate, he was the first author or co-author on several peer-reviewed journal articles. Matt was a Johnson Scholar, a member of Phi Beta Kappa and the Phi Eta Sigma Honor Societies, as well as the fraternity Sigma Nu. He was also involved in an InterVarsity Christian Fellowship and served as a state delegate to Mock Convention. Matt is now, surprise, surprise, a graduate student in the physics department at Stanford University. Congratulations, Matt. In typical years, our undergraduate commencement is preceded by the baccalaureate ceremony at which we recognize the recipients of the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Medallion, one of the highest awards at the university. Because the class of 2020 had no baccalaureate, we will hear from these two recipients today. Washington and Lee presents the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award to the seniors who excel, quote, in high ideals of living, in fine spiritual qualities, and in generous and disinterested service to others. When the institution makes the student award, it appoints the recipient as its representative to bear its standard before the world. Today we confer the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award upon Julio Hidalgo and Joel Simu. Julio majored in neuroscience and pursued academic interests in preventative medicine, human anatomy, and robotics. A Questbridge scholar, Julio was president of WNL's chapter of Alpha Epsilon Delta, the Pre-Health Honor Society, and co-president of Beta Beta Beta, the Biological Honor Society. He co-founded the university's Pre-Health Club and was a member of the Robotics Club. Also active in the local community, Julio was president of Catholic Campus Ministries, a religious education teacher at St. Patrick's Catholic Church, a volunteer at Lexington's Carilion Hospital, and worked with Campus Kitchen. In his spare time, he was president of the Swing Dance Club. During the summer, prior to his first year at Washington and Lee, Julio worked on drone autonomy and computerized flight simulation with Professor Simon Levy as part of our Advanced Research Cohort program. He spent 2 summers conducting research with Professor Fiona Watson on the mechanisms of central nervous system regeneration and the neurodevelopmental effects of pesticide exposure in frogs. Julio also spent a summer shadowing physicians in St. Louis, Missouri. He was a Howard Hughes Medical Institute undergraduate research fellow in 2017. Julio now attends medical school at Emory University. He hopes to participate in the Doctors Without Borders program to work with underserved populations. I now invite Julio to present a reading he has chosen to help us celebrate this occasion.
Ulysses by Alfred Tennyson. It little profits that an idle king by the still hearth among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I meet and dole, unequal loss unto a savage race that hoard and sleep and feed and know not me. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone, on shore, and when through scuttling drifts the rainy Hyades becks the dim sea. I am become a name, for always roaming with a hungry heart. Much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honored of them all, and drunk the light of battle with my peers. I am a part of all that I have met, yet all experience as an arched or throw gleams an unraveled world whose margin fades forever and forever when I move. How dull is it to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life, life piled on life were all too little, and of one to me little remains. But every hour is saved from that eternal silence something more. A bringer of new things, and violet were for some 3 suns to soar and whore myself, and this gray spirit yearning to desire, to follow knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought. This is my son, my own Telemachus, to whom I leave the scepter and the isle, well loved of me, discerning to fulfill this labor by slow prudence to make mild the rugged people, and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. Most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, decent not to fail, in offices of tenderness, and pay meet adoration to my household gods. When I am gone, he works his work, I mine. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sails. There looms the dark, broad sea. My mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, you and forever with a frolic welcome took. The thunder and the sunshine opposed. Free hearts, free foreheads, you and I are old. Old age has yet his honor and his toil. Death closes all, but something ere the end, some work of noble note may yet be done, not unbecoming men that strove with gods, the light being to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well order smite the sounding furrow, for my purpose holds the sail beyond the sunset. And hark off the western stars until I die. It may be that the gulls will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are now not that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
Thank you, Julio. Joelle was an English major with a special interest in legal studies and literature. She minored in Africana Studies and Poverty and Human Capability Studies. A Questbridge scholar, she was active in WNL's student government, serving as the chair of the Student Judicial Council during her senior year, and as a representative to a wide range of committees and organizations, including the University Committee on Inclusiveness and Campus Climate, the First Generation and Low Income Working Group, the Student Affairs Committee, and the Africana Studies Advisory Committee. A peer counselor on campus, Joelle also volunteered in Lexington and Rockbridge County, working each week at the Community Table, an organization dedicated to relieving hunger in the local area, and serving as a student representative to CARE, the community anti-racism effort. In 2017, as a summer research scholar at WNL, Joelle worked on a project titled The Poetics and Politics of Space in the Works of Martin Luther King and Leopold Senghor, under the direction of Professor Mohamed Kamara. She participated in the university's Washington term in 2018, working as an internship at the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, a coalition that coordinates legislative advocacy for more than 200 national organizations. Joelle also had summer internships with the Center for New North Carolinians in Greensboro and the Brennan Center for Justice, a nonpartisan law and public policy institute affiliated with New York University Law School. In 2019, she received the G. Holbrook Barber Scholarship Award, awarded to a rising senior who manifests superior qualities of helpfulness and friendliness to fellow students, public spirit, scholarship, and personal character. Since graduation, Joelle has been working as a paralegal at Relman Colfax, a national civil rights firm in Washington, D.C. She plans to pursue graduate studies in law and literature next fall. I now invite Joelle to share the reading she has chosen for this occasion.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I will be reading a poem titled Garden Lessons by Ed Buckley. Garden Lesson. A young child asks his mother, what happened to all their house plants as parents? Did she have to kill the mothers and fathers to take and pot their children? And if so, did they scream? He has kept silent all week, during which his family has toured home after home in search of one they can finally live in. He has stared worldlessly in these houses for sale at the few living plants, each whispering, this too could happen to you. Abandoned, uprooted from somewhere far to end up here on a windowsill or a counter, hopelessly alone. It was the last trip to the garden store, its greenhouse shelves crammed with plants and flowers, like sad animals at a zoo, that finally compelled the boy's need to know what had happened to all the plants' brothers and sisters and cousins and family members, surely still alive in the jungle or rainforest. The boy's mother, a refugee and immigrant, shakes a rinsed sprig of fresh basil at the sink and kneels to explain to her troubled son, we are houseplants and animals, and one day when it's time, forces will take each of us from our homes and families to live among others unlike us, in new towns, over rivers and mountains and seas, through decades of stories of who we once thought ourselves to be. This is why seeds endure and soil is everywhere. Of course, the boy doesn't understand. The woman kisses him on the forehead, then sends him out to their apartment's vacant lot for some dandelion greens and perilla, lollygagging in a late summer breeze with the fennel and thyme. None has a clue of what is about to happen. So I spent the better half of my senior year thinking a lot about what it means to belong, what it means to find community and home despite social and political forces that may contribute to feelings of instability. I thought a lot about rootedness. And the pandemic hurled us into a world of unfamiliarity and brought about, for some, months of loneliness and isolation and grief. And yet this reminder that no matter the chaos of the journey, this idea that we are seeds surrounded by soil that awaits our blooming is a joyful thought. Like seeds, we will be called into new communities and new spaces where we will seek to make our homes. This shared experience feels both rewarding and reassuring, even when we don't know when it will happen, even when we don't know that it is already happening. So class of 2020, like the resilient seeds that we are, I wish us all joyful bloomings as we continue to come to know profoundly the truth of who we are and who we want to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Joelle. At this point in the ceremony, we customarily hear remarks from the president of the student body. The class of 2020 EC president, Will Bolton, is currently stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia, as an armor officer with the 3rd Infantry Division. Will would like to be here with his classmates today, but the United States Army assigned him other duties. I know you join me in thanking Will for his service and in looking forward to seeing him back in Lexington soon. It's now my privilege to address the class of 2020 on the occasion of your commencement. It's a special joy to be with you here, live and in person, on this day that belatedly marks your passage from students to graduates of Washington and Lee. At the Olympic Games this summer, one of the most dramatic and heart-wrenching stories was that of Simone Biles, arguably the greatest gymnast of all time, falling prey to a sudden and debilitating case of what is known in her sport as the twisties. Asked to describe the experience, she said it involves, quote, not having an inch of control over your body, having no idea where I am in the air, no idea how I'm going to land or what I'm going to land on, my head, my hands, my feet, my back. Imagine spending your entire life practicing complex, demanding, dangerous skills until you can do them without thinking. You perform feats that no human has ever dared to try. You have achieved true mastery. And then one day, it's gone. Analysis intrudes upon instinct, anxiety and hesitation follow, launching yourself into the air as you have done thousands upon thousands of times. You can find no frame of reference. The world is upside down. Over the last 18 months, we have all been living the twisties. In February of 2020, you knew what you were doing. You were 3Ls and seniors. You had put in the work. You were entering the home stretch, anticipating the precious moments and the memories you would create in your final semester together, before launching yourselves into the next phase of your lives. And then you got an email from me. On March 13th, 2020, I announced the suspension of classes and sent you home until further notice. The virus turned our world upside down overnight. Further notice turned out to be until today, 547 days later. I wish it had not taken so long, and I am truly thrilled to have you back. When I communicated the cancellation of your original commencement, I expressed my confidence that you would emerge from this experience ready to meet the challenges ahead with courage, vision, and grace. I remain confident, despite the fact that since your W&L careers were disrupted, the challenges we all face have proliferated. COVID-19 has caused suffering around the globe on a scale we could not have imagined. Vaccines have made a difference. Without them, we would not be gathered here today. But the virus has proved to be a resilient foe, and the pandemic is not yet behind us. The murder of George Floyd on May 25th, 2020, made painfully visible the persistence of racial inequality and spurred national calls for meaningful steps toward greater justice. The siege of our national capital on January 6, 2021, reminded us that democracy is fragile and not to be taken for granted. And here at W&L, we spent last year grappling not only with COVID, but also with our own institutional history, our institutional future, and the relationship between the two. The Board of Trustees conducted a painstaking examination of these issues, which culminated in June, with its decisions to retain the university's name while making significant symbolic changes and substantive investments in superlative liberal arts and legal education for an increasingly diverse community. The debates that took place on this campus and throughout our extended W&L family were passionate but ultimately healthy. The ability to engage in self-examination, to pose fundamental questions, not to shy away from difficult conversations, is a sign of institutional strength. As I emphasized in my convocation address just 2 short days ago, we are united by our shared principles, shared purposes, and shared values. These have given previous generations at Washington and Lee the wisdom to navigate their own challenges, from the elimination of athletic scholarships in the 1950s, to integration of the student body in the 1960s, to coeducation in the 1980s. In each case, the university emerged as a better version of itself. Today, we remain, like our predecessors, laser-focused on our mission: to help students learn to think freely, critically, and humanely, and conduct themselves with honor, integrity, and civility. In doing so, we prepare our graduates, you, for responsible leadership in your personal, professional, and civic lives. I have great confidence in our faculty. I have great confidence in our staff. They are, as you know from personal experience, exceptional teachers and mentors. And therefore, I have great confidence in you. You are ready to succeed and also to lead. And heaven knows we need your leadership more than ever. Our world is plagued by serious problems that cannot be addressed without the mature and constructive participation of people who often see things in conflicting ways. Working effectively on any complex problem requires interpreting information, evaluating possible courses of action, making good faith efforts to persuade those with whom we disagree, and being willing to compromise when our disagreements cannot be fully resolved. But that essential mode of collective engagement, it's called cooperation, as any good kindergarten teacher would remind us, is existentially threatened by intense polarization that quite literally prevents people from hearing one another and has grossly degraded the quality of public discourse and thinking. Jonathan Rauch, senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, notes that polarization is nothing new. What is different, he argues, is the personalization of our differences. We increasingly define people by their opinions, which turns disagreements about issues into personal hostilities. The resulting tribalism is both rooted in and reinforces mistrust between groups of people who do not know, understand, or like one another. Farhad Manjoo, New York Times columnist, wonders whether, quote, we've hit the limit of our capacity to get along. Posing his concern in the form of a question, he asks, quote, are we capable as a species of coordinating our actions at a scale necessary to address the most dire problems we face? We would like to be able to answer that question in the affirmative. We had better be able to answer that question in the affirmative. There's a lot at stake. How can we reverse the spiral of mistrust and polarization? In June, President Biden spoke at the funeral of John Warner, who graduated from Washington and Lee in 1949. Biden and Warner served together in the United States Senate for 30 years, from 1979 to 2009, on opposite sides of the political aisle. In his eulogy, Biden credited Warner with understanding that democracy is more than a form of government. It is, he said, quote, a way of being which begins and grows in an open heart. Elaborating, Biden stressed that John Warner understood that empathy is the fuel of democracy, the willingness to see each other as opponents, not as enemies. Above all, to see each other as fellow Americans when we disagree, especially when we disagree. That same month, shortly after the Board of Trustees announcement, Kathleen Parker concluded her column in the Washington Post by observing, quote, whatever one thinks of W&L's decision, the board was a model for approaching controversial issues. If talk is sometimes cheap, it can also be therapeutic. Honesty expressed with civility will surely get us farther along the road to mutual understanding and resolution than destroying public property, and along with it, the goodwill we'll need if we are to create a peaceful future together. Honesty expressed with civility, empathy, trustworthiness. These are our values, and they connect all generations of our community. Our graduates are known for these traits. This reputation, which you will carry with you into the world, is the reason a Rutgers professor who studies cheating in college and is familiar with our honor system told the Washington Post, quote, I would trust a Washington and Lee alum with anything I own. At this institution, you have learned to treat one another with respect, to express your own views with candor, and to listen carefully to the views of others. These habits of intellect and character are what the world needs to chip away at partisanship and polarization, to find and forge more common ground, and to foster kindness and decency toward everyone, regardless of our differences and disagreements. Each and every one of you is well prepared to contribute to this monumentally important task. I urge you to embrace it, to set an example, and to lead the way. Simone Biles eventually landed on her feet, recovering well enough from the twisties to win a bronze medal on the balance beam. That might seem like a modest accomplishment for someone whose trophy case is already festooned with 4 Olympic and 19 World Championship gold medals. But under the circumstances, with her world turned upside down, it may prove to be her greatest triumph. We will land on our feet too. Your being here today is itself a triumph. I'm confident that you're ready to go forth, to make a difference, and to make us proud. Indeed, I'm confident that for the last 547 days, you have already begun going forth and making us proud. Congratulations, and thank you. And now for the main event. In recognition of the fact that you have already been fine graduates of Washington and Lee University for more than 15 months, let's do it right and make it official. Michelle Drumble, Interim Dean of the Law School, will present the 2020 graduates of the School of Law. Their names will be read in alphabetical order.
Will the graduates of the law class of 2020 please rise? President Dudley, it is a pleasure to present the 2020 recipients of the degree of Juris Doctor.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and upon the recommendation by the faculty, I reconfirm your having earned the degree of Juris Doctor of Washington and Lee University. Congratulations. Please come forward when your name is called. I ask the audience to hold its applause until all graduates have been recognized.
Roy Alexander Abernathy. Emma L. Ernison. Marissa Lizanne Bear. Leilani Tinashe Bartel. William Joseph Barton. Jacqueline Irene Bontes. Rashana C. Butler. Austin Kincaid Kano. Siobhan Therese Canty. Alexander C. Davidson. Michael Lewis Donahue. John Alexander Dorsey. Helen Gray Donovan. Christopher Starr Etheridge. Henry Preston Glasscock. Cameron Christopher Johnson. Kenneth Christopher Kettler. Melissa Ann Legumis. Whitney Lee Lambeth. Courtney Joy McMullen. Sean Patrick Moran. Lauren Alexandra Morina. Nate Mira Inlovu. Junior Joshua Sekulo Inlovu. Shelby A. Peasley. Georgiana Marie Pisano Getz. Megan Frances Prieto. Eric Rasick. Christopher Reed Rogan. Brittany Nicole Ryers Heinbaugh. Austin Shazinski. Max Anthony So. Hannah Elizabeth Strickland. Josiah Hull. Donald Bella. Lara McMahon.
Let's congratulate the graduates of the law school from 2020. Provost Hill will now present the members of the undergraduate class of 2020 in alphabetical order.
Will the undergraduate members of the class of 2020 please rise? President Dudley, it is a pleasure to present the 2020 recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and upon the recommendation by the faculty, I reconfirm your having earned the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science of Washington and Lee University. Congratulations. Please come forward when your name is called. I ask the audience to hold applause until all graduates have been recognized.
Nathan Dunn Abercrombie. William Evans Allison. Everett Garrett Allen IV, magna cum laude. Kelly Ann Amar. Caitlin Donahue Anderson. Kelsey Maureen Anderson. Stephen James Anderson. Lillian Elizabeth Anderson. Elaine Kennedy Ankeny. James Andrew Byrne Archie. Grace Armacost. Stuart Wood Ayer, cum laude. Caroline Allen Bailey, honors in history. George Bernard Barker, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Marguerite Sterling Barker. Thomas Riley Bartlett. Christopher Luke Basham, honors in politics, cum laude. Catherine Ann Barrett. Colin Joseph Berger, cum laude. Jordan Flynn Bernhardt. Lee Francis Bernstein, magna cum laude. Murad Justin Barached. Mira Amber Baratia. Stephen Alexander Black, cum laude. Thomas Stewart Boland. Eleanor Grace Braddock. Logan McCrae Brand. Robert Cooper Brightup. Andrew Joseph Brennan. Caitlin Ann Brock. Andrew Robert Browse, magna cum laude. Benjamin Arbins Brown. Laura Elaine Bruce, honors in physics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Vincent Buckman. Bryce Pearson Burnett. Joseph Leo Callahan III. Garrett Thomas Cannon. Ryan Michelle Carpenter. Julia Maria Carullo. Allison Nicole Case. John Porter Case IV. Alexa Marie Castellana. Kristen Suzanne Castle. Parker Benjamin Catlett, magna cum laude. William Edmund Chapman. Addison Parr Silmy. Daniel Scarborough Clark, honors in physics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Sean Thomas Clark, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Will Harris Clark, cum laude. Griffin Parrish Coffey. Ryan Nicholas Campoli. Francis Henley Connor. Olivia Caitlin Cooper. Charles Mallory Cope, cum laude. Carolyn Mary Coppinger. Josette Laurel Carraza. Connor Vincent Corbett. Christopher James Cotton. Mark Harrison Krogan. Hugh Gordon Crump III. David William Dabov. Philip Benjamin Davis. Catherine Nicole Degner, cum laude. Liam J. Delahanty. Hannah Eloise Denham. Kevin Edward Denon. Emma Marion Durr, magna cum laude. William Michael Diggs. Marshall Scott Dyke. Hannah Grace Dodds, cum laude. Nikki Marie Doherty, honors in economics, magna cum laude. Oliver Cart Dolberg. Aiden Christopher Donaldson, cum laude. Whitley Bryce Drinkard. Kaylin June Drowan. Matthew Ellison Dross. Julia Jane Dugan. Christopher Joseph DuPont. Yavuz Tana Dermaz, cum laude. Taylor Elizabeth Eckleberry. Margarita Olga Antonia Efimov. Nancy Emma Ernst, cum laude. Balin Victor Essick, honors in economics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Jesse Michael Evans. Donovan Clark Fiore. Ethan Hall Fisher, cum laude. James Wallace Fleck, cum laude. Caroline Grace Florence. Sarah Boykin Hayward Fort. Griffin Bell Fultz. Ann Pearson Fox. Zachary Cole Francis. Joseph Roger Gagnon. Evan Michael Geckler. John Tomatawa Philip Gogan Rosenthal. Madeline Estelle Guino. Stanton Laws Geyer. Anne Elizabeth Giannakis. Ramona Naima Gibson. Elliot Hope Gilbert, cum laude. Ashley Brooke Gillen. Greer Caroline Gordon. Alexandra Jean Gotzigen. Jennifer Catherine Graham. Benton Lowe Greer. Robert Timothy Griffin. Spencer Jackson Grimm. Allison Clark Gazelle. Sophia Gutierrez Quadra, cum laude. Emily Frances Hedgeback, magna cum laude. Cassandra Noel Hall, cum laude. Sarah Neely Hall, cum laude. Rex Adrian Halliburton, cum laude. Hudson James Hamill. Catherine Potter Hamill, cum laude. McKinley Claire Hamilton, magna cum laude. John Luke Harashinsky. Kylie Ursula Hartigan. Kenneth James Hartsfeld. Lauren Elise Hassel. Julia Victoria Hernandez, cum laude. Oliver Nicholas Herndon. Eric Herrera. Emily Danielle Hirschgordon, magna cum laude. Olivia Marilyn Hewitt. Julio Cesar Hidalgo Lopez. Who? Tori Hester. Connor Coleman Urigi Higgins. John Fitzrandolph Hodgson Jr., cum laude. Larkin McConnell Holtzman. Cade Andrew Hornack. Alexander Sabo Horn. Lillian Holiday Horsley. Martha Phillips House. Marshall McCow Howerton. Madison Ann Hutchins, magna cum laude. Gabriel Isaac Isbell, cum laude. Colton Thurston Johnson. Jack Seach Johnson, cum laude. Virginia Hart Johnson. Ashley Marie Johnston. Parker D. Julian. Abigail Elizabeth Keller, magna cum laude. Thomas Clement Kellogg. Bria Young Kelly, cum laude. Philip Ripley Kinzinger. Juliana Caroline Kerper, cum laude. Margaret Copley Kidder. Ji Sung Kim. Jiwon Kim, cum laude. Agnes Perot King. Anna Nicole Cranen, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Gigi Griffiths Lancaster. Elizabeth Cole Lanier. Matthew Henry Lanigan. Catherine Elizabeth Latour, honors in English. Elliot Lynn Layson, cum laude. Kylie Jennings Lee, magna cum laude. Brian Michael Lagarth. Maxwell Andrew Lehman, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Anne Elise Lentz, honors in politics, cum laude. James Carroll Lewis III. Juliana Renee Lima. Ryan Lesher. Taylor Griffin Link, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Anna Kramer Litvack. James Frederick Laundrie, Jr. Aiden Richard Sean Long. Maya Kathleen Laura, honors in English, cum laude. Kara Grace Lowe, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Rob William Lovelace. Connor Christian McIsaac. Claire Elizabeth Sparks Mackin. Allison Lee McQueen. Duncan Young Manley III, cum laude. Catherine Grant Martin. Nicholas Bennett Maurer, honors in history, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. James Easton Taylor McAlevey. William Allen McCann, Jr. Jillian Megan McConnell. Sydney Miller McGrew. Carson Jared McCoon. William Grant McLearn. Madison Laubach McNair, cum laude. Ashley Marie Mead. Robert Reynold Marriage V, cum laude. Christopher Jacob Messerich. Donald Christopher Messick. Tate Louisa Mickelson. Abigail Annalisa Miller. Gareth Alexander Ludwig Minson. Oakley Gordon Mize, cum laude. Ryan Stephen Munson, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Richard Wilson Montjoy III. Julia Patrice Moody. Gabrielle Alexis Moore, cum laude. Victoria Helen Morgan, cum laude. Matthew John Mulligan. Colette Rose Murray. Danielle Marie Murray. Elizabeth Caroline Medeiros Myers. Conlon Daniel O'Hara. Brendan Patrick Olski. Mary Chloe Anyango. Faith Powers Palmer. Prakriti Panthi, Honors in Economics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Lauren Ava Polano. Leanne Michelle Pissarro. Pranam Jimakumar Patel. Caitlin Marie Payton. Michelle McCoy Patrick. Brian Christopher Pesey, Honors in Economics, magna cum laude. Kyle William Perrell. Graham Hudson Pergandy. Edmund Payne Perry Jr., Honors in English. Adele Prite Patagna. Banks Hayes Flager. Timothy Samuel Pierce. McCoy Conrad Pitts. Emma Summers Pollard. Louis Franklin Powell IV. Alexandra Wood Prakniak. Sean Fleming Paleo. Morris Corson Purnell. Robert Patrick Quinilty, cum laude. Emma Catherine Rebuse. Margaret Sharon Ray. Caitlin Orion Reardon. Bethany Rose Reitzma, cum laude. William Andrews Richardson, Jr. John Allen Richmond. Parker Liam Robertson. Jack Thornton Roby. Charles Weld Robinson II. Emily Christine Roche. Nicholas Jeffrey Rodman. Tyler Spencer Royston, cum laude. Catherine Page Rorka, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Sanchez. Cole Ruger Sanford. Eva Allen Sarkis, cum laude. William Robert Shermer, honors in economics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Michael Griffin Scott. Anne Lillian Shannon, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Mathilde Trueheart Sharman. Henry Charles Shepard. Robert Howard Sheridan IV. Joel Andrea Simiyu Zuengo. Dylan Yancey Smith. Gabrielle Nicole Smith. Catherine Grace Smith. Lainey Folks Smith, cum laude. Lawson Daniel Smith, magna cum laude. Peyton Jean Smith, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Sabrina Marie Smith. Tanner John Smith. John Isaac Smith Schoenwalder. Antonio Marcel Smithy. Thomas William Smolsky. Anna Helen Soroka, cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Spencer. Mary Virginia Spencer. Trevor Wayne Stallnicker, honors in computer science, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Cassidy Shea Strohsnyder. Michael Edward Struck. Margaret Burton Sykes. Jackson Matthew Thigpen. Mitchell Cooper Thomas, cum laude. Elizabeth Ashley Thompson. Deepthi Thumalori, honors in neuroscience. Clement Clay Torbert IV. Emily Allison Tucker. Elizabeth Graves Underwood. Evelyn Ellen Verbinen. Christopher George Vogel. John Williams Ware, Jr. John Sloan Warner III, cum laude. Michael McKee Weaver. Allison Kelly Webb. Andrew Mark Weinstock. Andrew David Wicker, magna cum laude. Kana Krista White, honors in economics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. William Colin Whitmore. John Robinson Wickham, Jr. Joseph Thomas Winsek. William Maddox Wilkinson. David Pierce Williams. Matthew O'Neill Withers, honors in physics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Austin Joseph York. Matthew A. Zeichel. Wellesley Thomas Shannon. Matthew Allen Vellante. Jimmy Mack Johnson III. Sarah Giddings Harrison. Stephen Chris. Jake Gigliotti.
Please join me in congratulating the undergraduate class of 2020. I don't know about y'all, but that felt really good to me. It is now my duty to bring us to our conclusion. Please be seated briefly. Members of the class of 2020, you've officially been alumni for more than 15 months. That may be a little difficult to process, so let's ease the transition by reminiscing about some of the signal moments of your student days. The acceptance letter you received from the admissions office, moving into your first year room, early morning walks to class in Lewis Hall or along the colonnade, the final game of your career as a general, your senior recital, winning the coveted law school flag football championship, the staff member who cared about you during a rough patch, the faculty member who helped you discover an aptitude for art or science or philosophy or legal advocacy and nurtured it into a passion, the friends you made who will be part of your lives forever, who will celebrate your marriages, the births of your children, your future accomplishments. Pause for one final second and contemplate the setting in which we find ourselves, one of the most beautiful in all of higher education. Consider the legacy of which you are now a part. Forever, you will be known as graduates of Washington and Lee University, and you should carry that distinction not only with pride, but with responsibility and a sense of honor. Come back frequently and know that while the geographic relationship between you and the university will change, the bonds of friendship with the people you have come to know will endure and grow even stronger. It took us 547 days to get you all back here, so we're going to celebrate all day long. We've got lunch on Cannon Green. This evening at 6 o'clock, we have celebrations for the undergraduates on Cannon Green and for the law graduates on the law school lawn. I also hope to see you all back very soon at Young Alumni Weekend in October. And I look forward to seeing you at your 10th reunion and to hearing where life has taken you. But for now, I send you on your way with congratulations, pride, and my very best wishes. Thank you. These 2020 commencement proceedings are now adjourned.